5 minutes, ready.
Hi everyone. I want to take this opportunity of this lightning talk to talk to you about Folium, that is a Python package to connect your geolocalized data with Leaflet.js map. That is a library, a JavaScript library. Allow me to put in this kind of context a JavaScript library, and you will see that it can be useful for your visualizations. First of all, about me, I'm Biel Frontera. I'm a mathematician. I'm mostly a web developer, and I do stuff with data visualizations. You have my Twitter and my GitHub account. I work at SOCIP, that is a oceanographical institute in Mallorca. And then I want to talk about Folium, and I already say that it connects with Leaflet, but I really want to talk about Leaflet type dimension because Folium has implemented plugins of the Leaflet library, and one of the first one was this one, and I'm the developer of this one. So I'm sorry again because it's a JavaScript library. Okay, so Folium, we can have an ePython, Jupyter notebook with your data, and we have here two markers, 2 points with latitude and longitude data, and we can only with this creation of the folium.map, we can create a map. So we can also not only points, not only markers, we can also see some GeoJSON or TopoJSON structures. So here we have one of them, and we also can see some chloroplasts. We have here the United States in a JSON, and we also have data, and we can connect the JSON and the data with pandas and make this nice visualization in our notebook. But as I told you before, I want to speak about my library. So here we can have plugins in Folium, and here this is a feature collection just for testing that this is copy and paste from the test of the Folium, and it creates this. And this is a bunch of features, of GeoJSON features, and that in their properties had the times properties. So this is not nice, but then this is, if I can find the button, the play button, this is more cool, or I think so, because you can animate your map. So you can think about an scenario, and you can have data with some kind of time dimension, and then you can visualize this in a map. I have another example here. Just a minute. This. Oh, no. It's not loading. It was a spill simulation of. We had an incident with a ship near Mallorca, and then we can show this in the institute. We made a simulation about. It's not loading. Yes. Okay. Here you have the possible spill, and we had this information around several times, and we want to show this in movement.
Ya sabes cómo hacerlo. Creo que sí. Bueno, si no tienes otras intentonas. A ver. No editamos mando, ¿no? No, en principio no. Preferences, monitor settings. Ahí lo tienes. Ok. Hello, everybody. I would like to talk about Python Magic. Python Magic is a notebook extension that allows you to use Python inside the browser. In your notebook, what is Python? Python is a Python 3 implementation made in JavaScript, so you can write Python code on the client side. You can install Python Magic just with pip, or wait a minute, or just with install extension that is deprecated. So I recommend you to use pip install, and to load the extension you could use loadx Python Magic, and let's see what you can do with the Python Magic itself. For example, you can create sorry, something is broken. You can create default outputs for your code. For example, you can modify the output, not just a simple print. You can, for example, if you want to share something with someone, whatever, you could use this to embed your cell in JS Fiddle, for example, and you can run it, the code, in JS Fiddle directly. This is just an alert. Let's see some more examples. Here, for example, I am using the HTML5 canvas technology to create an animation. You can stop, you can animate. Wow, amazing. Let's continue. You can interact with directly with JavaScript libraries, with D3, with Leaflet, with Open Layers, with Raphael.js. For example, here I will show you an example with Raphael. That's the result. You can, for example, style your notebook directly from a cell. I change it right now, the font size, some colors. For example, here I can write I don't know, this now, and I'm changing now the color. All of this directly from the notebook. More stuff. For example, here's a tutorial to use highcharts. Highcharts is a cool library, but it's written in JavaScript, so it's not so cool. And for example, here you can create a high chart directly from the notebook, directly using Python. And you can create even, for example, simple dashboards. Here I am retrieving information from the Python package index about some Python packages. Let's see, for example, some information about NumPy. So here I retrieve the JSON file that PyPy is returning me. Here I plot how many downloads have each version of NumPy. Here you can see the description of the package. So this is made just with some lines of Python code, and it's also working in the, for example, in the NB viewer. So you don't need a server working for you. For example, here is an example of this working. That's all. Thank you.
Ok, aquí. No, pero HDMI está aquí. So, hello, can you see that? Yep, okay. Ready? Go. Thank you. So, hi, I don't have a cool slide, so I'm introducing myself like I'm Jamila, hello. I'm talking about Docker, very, very quick introduction to Docker for data scientists. Let's say that dealing with packaging with science tools in Python may be difficult, versions and so on. And someday you need to access to a Postgres, and maybe you don't have in your computer, and you don't even know how to use Postgres, like installing and setting up. So we are using Docker, okay? We need to install Docker and Docker Compose in our machine. And then we need to, we are like getting two images, the official image of Postgres and an image for IPython Jupyter, which I have never used IPython, sorry, so maybe I'm mixing the names. And I have found in Docker Hub, which is a very, very nice web page with lots of images for Docker. Continuum, the company, Continuum Analytics, has an image for named Anaconda 3 with lots of scientific tools, so I'm just using it without knowing about anything about IPython or something like that. So first of all, we need, so let's say that Docker here. Vim Docker Compose. So we have our Postgres, which is coming for Postgres this version. Okay, it's not important. The Postgres name of the database is that. Okay, and it's in this network, which is also okay for you. And we are exposing this to my host computer. This is the default port of Postgres, and this is the port in my machine, so it doesn't collide with my own Postgres. And then I've called IPython, and later I learned that it's Jupyter. I will tell you why I have my IPython and not like an official name. So this Anaconda image doesn't have psychopg2, which is the library to connect to Postgres. So I have to install myself. So what I did was I took this image from Continuum, okay, super data scientistic, okay, and I have installed this package to install psychopg2. And now I am building this image and I have my own IPython with everything from Anaconda and also psychopg2. Okay, so I have to run up with Docker Compose. Work on Docker. Docker Compose is only in Python 2, so I have a virtual env with Python 2 and Docker Compose up. Okay, so you see that my IPython is up, Postgres is up. So if we Docker like that, wow, sorry. Oh, it's so super big. Okay. Okay, so we have this and this, which are sorry, but I cannot see the status. Okay, it's up and it's up. So we have both. Now I can connect to my Postgres, to this Postgres in the here. Wow. So you believe that I can connect to my Postgres, and then in Firefox, everything is up and running. So localhost 8888, and I have, oh, thank you. Localhost 8888, yoo-hoo, and then new. Python 3, and okay, so just a minute. Okay, so we are set no number. Sorry, I'm just copying here into here. Paste is this. Okay, you can see importing Psycho, importing pandas, and reading my super data, which is in the other container. This is one container, and Postgres is in a new and different container. So, ta-da!
I'm going to speak in Spanish, but if you don't understand Spanish, you won't really miss anything. This is just me talking. Okay. So, can we see anything at all here? Okay, it's loading. Pues si quieres. Vale, pues como estamos a punto ya de terminar las conferencias y estamos un poco melancólicos, quería hacer algo bonito para vosotros, algo que os llene de alegría antes de iros. Así que por eso he creado una Lightning Talk que espero que os guste y que por eso la he llamado ¿Cómo destruir y corromper todo lo que es bueno y bello? ¿Por qué? Pues porque a veces cosas malas pasan a gente buena, a veces salimos de la ducha con ganas de ir al baño y a veces tenemos que usar Excel. Son cosas que pasan. No está bien, sé que está mal, pero son cosas que a veces hay que hacer y hay que hacerlas sin más. Un detalle sobre Excel es que, a ver, hay gente que es muy pro realmente con Excel. Me gustaría enseñaros esto porque es una pasada, ¿vale? Esto, a ver si lo podemos ver. Es un simulador de vuelo con motor de físicas que está hecho en Excel. Esto para mí como ingeniero aeronáutico es como ver una maqueta a escala 1:10 de la Torre Eiffel hecha con cerillas, utilizando nitroglicerina como pegamento, que es algo impresionante y genial, pero no quiero acercarme a menos de 10 kilómetros de ello. Y es buenísimo, o sea... A ver, realmente... El caso es que a veces tenemos que usar Excel, ¿vale? Porque las cosas pasan y hay que usarla. Entonces, como siempre, tenemos Anaconda, que es la fuerza del bien en nuestro mundo, que nos va a ayudar con un paquete que se llama OpenPixel. Hay más paquetes, pero este es el que yo he probado porque salía el primero en Google. Entonces, lo primero que vamos a hacer es importarlo. Vamos a importar las funciones que necesitamos, ¿vale? Estas son para crear logográficos. Y lo primero que voy a hacer es cargar unos datos de ejemplo, ¿vale?, que he generado aquí en este Excel, para enseñaros un poco así rápidamente cómo se carga, ¿vale? Es simplemente con esta función que luego la cargo aquí en este objeto, que es un objeto de tipo workbook, es el libro, ¿vale? Y luego dentro del libro voy a seleccionar la primera ficha, la primera hoja de Excel, para cargar los datos. Después se puede ir iterando, ¿vale? Estos son de tipo iterable, se puede iterar sobre ellos, para ir cargando los datos que tengo guardados, ¿vale? Son datos científicos, por favor, no os riáis, estos son las ondas gravitatorias. El caso es que como tenemos que trabajar con nuestros datos, ¿vale?, pues lo primero que vamos a hacer va a ser este iterable, irlo metiendo, pues yo qué sé, por ejemplo, en una lista de listas o en una cosa de estas que se usan en Python, o por ejemplo en pandas, que es, pues como ha salido en muchas charlas, digo, lo voy a usar yo también. Entonces, aquí podemos ver nuestros datos científicos con cosas científicas. Y lo que vamos a hacer es corregir estos datos, porque al estar trabajando con Excel, realmente vemos que están mal, ¿no? Así que vamos a reemplazarlos por datos correctos y además vamos a hacer cosas de ciencia, como matemáticas, cosas de estas chulas, ¿vale? Entonces, vamos a hacer una cosa nueva que es, bueno, ya hemos leído uno que existía, vamos a crear uno nuevo. Es también súper fácil. Simplemente creamos un objeto de tipo workbook y luego seleccionamos la worksheet, lo que es la tabla activa, ¿vale?, la página. Podemos crear más páginas si queremos, pues porque se puede, ¿sabes? Podemos ver qué nombres tenemos. Tenemos aquí los nombres de las paginitas. Podemos ver los nombres de otra manera. Y lo que vamos a hacer es ir escribiendo con un bucle, ¿vale? Vamos a ir haciendo un bucle para ir escribiendo los datos que habíamos ido generando. Y luego lo último que vamos a hacer ya, para comprobar simplemente que se puede, porque sí, es hacer un gráfico, ¿vale?, para comprobar pues, que nuestros datos se pueden plotear. Vamos a personalizar un poquito más el gráfico, añadimos el gráfico al libro y lo guardamos. Y podemos comprobar que hemos generado un libro nuevo. Aquí lo tenemos como resultado. Y pues ya está. Espero que os haya gustado. Always look on the bright side of life. Eso es todo, puede pasar al siguiente. Que le está haciendo una foto. Muy bien. Ya está, era solo eso. Luego barrancos y... Sí, lo valiente. Pues ya está. Muchas gracias.
HDMI. Al otro lado.
Okay, so my talk is not so cool, but I just want you to show a little bit about chatbots. If you have been looking to the news lately, you have seen for sure that now everyone is trying to create a chatbot, like maybe Facebook, who knows, but for sure Microsoft have created one, and you can use it if you want. But I want you to present one that we have been using for a while in our little project. And it's a Python-written bot. It's super easy to use. It's based on Slacker, that it's just a wrapper for the Slack API. And it has a simple plugin mechanism, so you just write your own plugins and you just run on them. You can use it on Python 2 or Python 3, and right now it uses threads, so it's concurrent, but we want to use async IO. Well, it's changing that. So to install it, it's super easy. Just use pip or Conda, but right now it's not on Conda, so maybe in a couple of days. And to create your own instance, you just have to import the bot, get an API token, and define where your executables are, just the path to them. And you can define a default reply that your bot will have. So you just write that script, and you can start running your own bot. The cool thing about the API token is that you can use one bot API token that is explicit, so Slack knows that what you have created is a bot. But if you want to be or go a little bit further, you can take your own API token and just put a bot in your order to start answering people in your Slack groups. So yeah, maybe do some cool regex, you can have some automatic responses. So you just run the bot and you got it running. So to create the plugins is super easy. You just use a decorator, and you have two decorators, respond to and listen to. Respond to, you have to name in your comment the bot's name. So maybe if your bot's name is Lucia, you just have to say, okay, Lucia, do this or do that or whatever. And you can have some general regex listening to every comment, so you can just ask it to do something. And then when you want to reply or make the bot make something with Slack, you have three options. You can make him reply. So if he replies, he will comment with the username of the person who has mentioned it. You can, the bot can react to a comment, so maybe it can add like a thumbs up or something. So maybe if you have shared a link and you want it to store in a database, whenever it's done, it can thumb up it, so you know it's already stored. And it can, if it's listening to, so it's listened to a channel, whenever it replies to the channel, not to that person, so it doesn't mention it. Another cool thing is that you can get the data from your regex and just pass it as an argument to your function and use it for whatever you want. So I want you to present our own bot. Our bot is called Santi. So Santi does a lot of things for us, but as we never remember everything he does, we created a little function. So whenever I ask for docs, it replies me with just the documentation of that function, and it says me whatever the documentation does. So for example, one thing that we do a lot in our Slack group is to share a lot of links. So I'm sure that whenever you want to try to get your link back, it's sometimes difficult or you have to go for it. So you can just ask Santi to look for a link that is on a database that he has stored. So let's ask for the links of Alvaro. So it will parse the regex. It will understand that Alvaro is a user. It will look for any link that he has shared, and it will print it back there. Okay, it doesn't have any. Oh, yeah, I have to. Okay. Okay, really. I don't know why it's not working. But that's it. We have a database, so we are storing everything, and we are also storing every message. So whenever we want to go out of Slack, we have already just a backup. So it's just quite cool. And that's it.
Give us 5 more minutes. Don't leave. So, no, first I will make the poll. Who liked this? Raise your hands. So you didn't like that. Oh, great. I hate you. So we will probably send you something like a poll to say what was right, what was wrong. In case you're shy, you don't have to say that to our face. You can complain with a form without your name, whatever. So I would like to know a couple of things about how satisfied you are after this PyData. So, okay, who liked that? Now who liked this? You're asleep. I mean, they should ban this, come on. Okay, who would recommend these conferences to a friend? Okay, most of you. And how was the food? Fine? Who? Okay, and who found this conference cheap? Who found it expensive? Okay, pretty fair. So I will hand over the mic to Santi, which is one of the driving forces of the organization, to thank everyone that deserves to be thanked.
Thank you. Hello. This is the Thanksgiving part of this closing session. So I write a note to remember, but if you feel I'm forgetting someone, please just raise your hand and I give thanks personally to him. Well, first, sponsors for their unconditional faith and support in us, because I know this is a very scientific world, scientific community, but from time to time we need this kind of blind trust to release or to start this kind of initiatives. So first I ask for an applause for all our sponsors, please. Well, Continuum Analytics founded this kind of events and focus some of its resources in supporting all this ecosystem of application and tools. So I think they well deserve another applause, please. For the venues, because we were not charged at all. So they come for free and they were hosting you, and this awesome event we have had, and I think it will probably they were the best choices here in Madrid, both VVVA and Campus Madrid. I want to especially thanks the people behind these places, these organizations, because they actually help a lot. These names are Patricia from here, from Campus Madrid, and Reinaldo from BBVA. So another applause, please. More named people, because at the end this is done by people with names and people with one very specific identity, personality, and I would have loved to meet them in person, but unfortunately they are in the USA. So another applause for Leah, for Gina, and for Lynn from Focus that help us to arrange all this event. And most important, at least from my part, they take care of all the bureaucratics and economics. I would want to thank two I don't know how to say, two extra hands. I didn't count with them. Ivan here from campus, from the security of the campus, and Alejandro from the catering, because they helped me a lot with a lot of logistics, taking care of serving you, of cleaning up, of opening doors, and all these kind of little details you forgot when you are organizing, but they are crucial when you are in the wild. So another applause for them. Yes, and of course, volunteers. Volunteers are very important. I don't know what will be, how much harder or how harder could have been this without their help. So please, another applause for the volunteers. My colleagues, Kiko and Guillem, for answering those infinite chains of mails, about 100 mails or 60 mails. Oh, that was awful. And, and taking care of all the details and taking care of, at the end, they are taking care of you, and they put a lot of effort here. So, oh, I don't know. I think, yes, I switch off. No, I didn't switch off. Hey? Oh. Okay. So please, another applause for them. Speakers and keynoters, because if you realize we were here for almost 20 hours now, 10 yesterday, 10 today, and if you came to the workshops, another, I don't remember, 8 maybe or something like that. It is a lot of time, and we come to this kind of events, or we come to this kind of places because of keynoters and speakers. These are the people we want to see and we want to hear. So another applause for them. And I think I think this is all, except for, of course, all of you that buying these tickets, you support this fantastic, I don't know, this fantastic intersection between Python, open source, this ecosystem of open source programs, tools, Python, that is the language we love, and big data. It's here, I swear. So please, another applause for you. Thank you for coming, and have a safe trip.